Hey, welcome to the channel, Collector's Life for Me. So today we're going to be checking out the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Viper 3-pack. I picked this up at GameStop. They retail for, it was $89.99. I looked it up on BigBadToyStore.com. Same price. Seems to be the going rate on these. I, like many, missed out on the individual Viper releases. That was a big ordeal with Hasbro early on. G.I. Joe Classified. They're just so well made, and they weren't making enough of these, and people were buying them up. Major Blood was one that, you know, his aftermarket price went way up. A few others that, you know, just sold out so quickly. I think even the original, before they did the redeco on the main G.I. Joe, the first wave, those were all really difficult to find, at least in the wild. At least, you know, if you're going out toy hunting and stuff, I'm sure you could find them online, but typically there was a markup, or they would just sell out quick. So this pack comes in this blister box here type packaging. There are 3 of them, so you're looking at about $30 per figure. You have 2 of the standard Vipers, Cobra Vipers, and then you have like a leader with the scarf, and he's got different coloring on his uniform there, so he might be the commander of this troop. So pretty cool. Let's get to opening this up, see what's inside. So I already cut the tape on it, and then this slides right out. You've got this packaging here with the 3 of them. Hasbro's advertising no plastic packaging, so all the plastic you're getting is in the actual figures themselves. So you can see the paper ties here on the back. It does make it easy, you know, for opening these up. You don't have to, you know, clip any of those little plastic ties. And then there's like a little sleeve, so I'm assuming this is where all the accessories are. Yeah, I don't see them in the package. So you got this little like UAV radar type detailing, or maybe it's just topography. Open this up first. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like themed tissue paper. So you got Cobra and the G.I. Joe star themed tissue paper there. So one thing about this too that I don't know if the other ones came with is this does come with like gunfire or blaster detailing or effects. So I think they're in here somewhere. Okay, so we got a few heavy duty blasters there. So each one of these looks like it comes in like a little taped cardboard sleeve. You got a rifle type weapon. Probably 2 more of those. Interesting that they maybe, but maybe the commander, maybe he's got a different weapon styling. A smaller little submachine gun. And another rifle. So big fan of G.I. Joe Classified. It's one of the best priced and like well executed toy line over the past few years. The scale's amazing, the articulation's amazing. Lots of accessories, very well done. I was a big fan of G.I. Joe growing up. Mostly played with 3 3/4 inch. I also played with you know, 1/12 scale. Sorry, take that back, 1/6 scale. We didn't really have 1/12 scale G.I. Joes, that's the big deal with G.I. Joe Classified, is really great articulation and value. They're usually around 20 to 30 bucks per figure, depending on, you know, they have deluxe figures too, but most of the standalone figures are 20 bucks. I am a little disappointed just because I don't think that they could do anything about it. But the biggest problem with this scale of G.I. Joes is the vehicles and the vehicle pricing. Growing up, 3 3/4 inch I mean, you could buy his tanks for probably like 12 to 15 bucks maybe, you know, so it was all about building an army. And that's impossible. I think that Hasbro's, his tank they're doing for this is like 300 bucks. And, you know, you just can't, I mean, maybe you buy one, but I don't even think that's worth it. So that is a problem with this. I think growing up, as far as like the closest scale to like cool vehicles, I remember growing up with Sectors. You know, they were like doll size. I mean, I want to say they were bigger than these, and they had those cool hand puppet like insects that the Sector would then sit on the saddle on, and like you could actually like your hand was the vehicle. And like most kids in the 80s and 90s, like I would have never had those if they were expensive. If they were overly expensive, it's just something, you know, that I would never have. And so I know that they were like, they might have even come in the kits, you know, together, where certain characters came with their vehicle bug. You know, and there's, you know, He-Man had cool vehicles, Thundercats had cool vehicles. They all had cool vehicles that were well priced for the. But I remember Sectors being, because of the sheer size of the actual figures, like that. Those are some of the cooler ones. I thought these would be wrapped, but it looks like you gotta rip them open. So I'll try to. I did all right. I was gonna save this tissue. I'm weird like that. I might, you know, put this in like well, put it back in the packaging and save the box. So yeah, these are all the effects. Oh, and the pistols. So you've got different goggles. Looks like you've got 2 silver and 1 gold. Gold one's in the middle there. Here are all the blaster effects. That's kind of fun. That's kind of a newer thing. They don't, you know, I haven't seen too much of that in the G.I. Joe Classified. You know, this is something that makes me think of like Star Wars Black Series or something, you know, where they sometimes include more effects type accessories. And then you have your 3, so it looks like you've got the red Beretta type pistol, and then these are some other kind of, I don't know if they're Glock style or what. They look pretty unique to me. I don't know. I'm not very good with guns. So we got those there. Looks like a silencer attachment. So like a little, you know, gunpowder smoke effect, I think that's supposed to be. Not so sure. Okay. We'll mess around with those. And then there's another little one. Okay, this one's taped. So this is probably going to be their backpacks. That's another thing I like is, you know, a lot of these G.I. Joe Classified figures, they usually come with a backpack that gives you weapon storage. Even the 3 3/4 used to do that. Not everybody had a backpack, but a lot of them did, to where, you know, if they're wielding their pistol, you know, you could pull one of their rifles on their pack. So that's a you know, I want to say who's ever in charge of this toy line is doing a good job of kind of paying homage to the original G.I. Joes, as well as making them unique for this toy line. Okay, I'm just having to tear this one apart. The tape's ruining this tissue, even though it wasn't sealed like the other one, and that was exactly right. So you got 3 backpacks, you know, with some rope and probably flashbang or grenade detailing. You got 2 with the red Cobra insignia and 1 with the gold for the commander. Otherwise, they are the exact same. I don't actually think you can attach weapons to these. I don't see any peg holes. So that's kind of interesting. A lot of the other ones, like, they have little like spots where you can attach. Yeah. So maybe they didn't do that with this one. Might be a little disappointing because they come with 3 different weapons. So if they're wielding, yeah, any of these clips come out. Sometimes the clips come out too. Oh, there you go. There's a little clip. No real bullet detailing. Sometimes they'll paint that little top so you can see a bullet casing in there. Do these? Yeah, so far. Yeah, that one clicks in. That's important. I've had ones, especially on the 1/6 scale type figures. If they don't snap in, they'll just slip right out, and then they're easy to lose. Yep, so that one pops right out. That's always fun, you know, if you're really trying to get into the pretend role playing with them or put up a battle scene. It is cool to have those extra little details. Okay, so let's get into the figures. Pull this tape off so we can yeah, I'm still Comax and Zaymont, they're on my list. I think for the most part, you know, they did a re-release of Baroness in the original like blister style packaging. They also did a Lady J, but those might be peg warmers. I've seen a lot of them at stores, especially you know, I don't go to Walmart often, but last time I was at Walmart, they must have had at least 10 of each of those, if not more, on the pegs. Funny enough, I've had my best luck popping into GameStop, and they, you know, I was actually at a GameStop today, and they had I want to say it was a Tomax. If they had both, I probably would have grabbed them both, but they only had one, and I'm weird like that. I do that with like Ninja Turtles and stuff. I hate just buying the one, because then you kind of have to commit. Or if they don't have the whole group, you know, I feel like I'm forcing myself to buy them, but I'd rather just buy them together and just be done with it. Or that's, you know, if I'm in a store and they have the duo or the trio or all of them, then I'm like, if I make the decision to get them, then it's an easier call. Then, I don't know, it's just a weird quirk, I guess. But I passed, I put them back down, I had them in my hand, put them back down. And GameStop, you know, they're like 22 bucks, I think. If they, if you're like a pro member, you can get rewards and stuff, so you can get a few bucks off if you want. But Target's hit or miss. Target definitely, like, you go there and they'll have a bunch of them, but they'll be all the same figure, or they'll be all the ones that nobody wants. Black Series is especially the case for them with that. They'll have a lot of peg warmers, you know. Usually maybe they're, you know, the certain figures, maybe they're only getting one of, and, you know, somebody like me is snagging it up pretty quick. Okay, so we got here's this guy with his red combat vest. He's got a holster here. There's pistol, peg in the back for his backpack. So he's got the gray scarf here. Pretty cool. I like these guys. I do like that this is a 3-pack. So, you know, if you're going army building, like, this makes it easy, you know. I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have four just like Cobra troopers, and I have 3 bats, 2 alley vipers back there. As far as characters who aren't like unique characters, I think the big release coming this year, the Crimson Guard characters, troopers. So that might be one that, you know, you might have to try to find a couple. I've seen the pre-orders up on those. There's a couple other, you know, unique, Serpentor, he was like a special one, Dr. Mindbender, but I don't know if those were like show specific or just limited release, but I know that they're pretty tough to find. I don't even know where you can find them, if you can find them at retail. So these guys have scarves too, so I didn't realize that, so I don't know if that's, but they do come off. Kind of cool, you know. Exposes neckline there. So this is, you know, these are the standard. I feel like, so I like that this is a black vest on him, but if I remember correctly, I think the original 3 3/4, their whole body paint was blue and red. I don't think they had black vests. They've also got the Tiger Force of these out. I was at a Target randomly, and they must have, I don't know if they were just a Target that got all of them, because I haven't seen them at any other of my local Targets. But for the Tiger Force bats and the Tiger Force Vipers, they must have had 30 of each. They had an entire end cap that was just them. So I don't know if those are going to be sought after. I was never a big Tiger Force guy. I was actually quite surprised, like after the fact, to find out how valuable the original Tiger Force line became. They just weren't my. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was, you know, something to do with the comic storyline with those or what. You know, I do like some of the Bazooka and Outback and stuff, like some of the characters that were part of the Tiger Force. I think Dusty might have been, Duke. I do like those characters, but my favorites were always like the Marauders, you know, Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, and I was a big fan of the Iron Grenadiers, which was like Destro's special troops. I think it was like Gold Destro. And he had the Iron Grenadiers that had like the red breathing mask with the kind of black, like hard style helmet. I was a big fan of those. As far as like alternate or like, you know, not the staple standard troopers. So there you go. So we're gonna go ahead and accessorize these guys and show them off a bit, and give them some poses. See what we can do with them. So I've got them all posed up. You can see I've got the leader with his silenced pistol there. Got this guy with an assault rifle with the blaster effect detailing on there, pretty cool. And then this guy, kind of like a Boba Fett holding his carbine rifle, just kind of relaxed grip with his weapon. I ran into a few issues with the posing on these. When you bend their knees and you put their backpacks on, they want to fall backwards really easily. They have this thick vest on them that kind of prevents a little bit of torso movement, but you can bend the torso forward to help give them lean. But they're so top heavy with their backpacks on that I had to use stands. And if anybody remembers 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joes, they all came with little stands. So that's definitely room for improvement there. I think that's an easy include to give added posability. Plus, one thing I like when toys come with their own stands is usually those stands are specifically designed for the figure. So G.I. Joe Classified, they do have peg holes in the bottom of both feet, so they know you can use stands with them, but they don't supply them. So that's definitely something I would start including if I was Hasbro. So thanks for checking these out with me. I do recommend this toy line if you can find them at their retail prices. Aftermarket, just wait. I think this is one of the better Hasbro toy lines, so I think they're just going to continue to keep putting more and more of these out there and making enough to meet the demand. So hope you enjoyed checking out these Cobra Vipers with me, and beyond that, enjoy the rest of your day.